Hello, hello. Welcome for another episode of the Author Spotlight. Hey, it's your host with the most, your main man, Darren M. Palmer. So excited to be with you. Well, I get the honor and the privilege to interview those authors from across the globe and go behind the scenes. Today on the show I have a special person, a very special person, Miss Kimberly Smith, who is a dynamic speaker with soul-stirring and insightful messages, along with being a voice of life-changing exuberance and hope. She is recognized as the ultimate life strategist, offering inner healing and fostering courage, compassion, and resilience. She ignites and inspires confidence. Her clients and audiences are fueled with the power and momentum to accelerate to reach their highest professional and personal potential. Kimberly Smith is a wellness and life strategist that helps with clarity and confidence in life. She specializes in helping people overcome past challenges, grief, and adversities so they can live purposeful, joy-filled lives. Because she overcame depression and anxiety, she is equipped with tools and passion and purpose to help others do the same. She is certified by the Integrative Wellness Academy and Integrative Wellness and Life Coaching, and a certified Neuro-Linguistics Practitioner. So welcome to the show, Kimberly Smith.
Hello. Thank you so much for that wonderful welcome. Thank you.
Anytime, anytime. Now, I just shared a little bit about your bio. If there's anything that I left out, please share it with our audience.
Okay. Well, basically, this business or what I'm doing basically got started from my own healing journey, which I started many years ago. Like I said, when was said in the bio, I suffered from anxiety and depression. There was a lot of things that I was holding on to. So I'm grateful for the process of going through that healing so that I can move forward and help others to heal. I don't want individuals to do this thing by themselves. God has equipped me and given me the tools to help other individuals, like I have been given the tools to help myself to move forward. So definitely I want to share what was given to me.
Amazing, amazing, amazing. And I want to go right into it. If you don't mind, share with the audience the name of your new book, and also why did you choose this book as your first book?
Well, the name of my book is the 15-Day Positive Mindset Affirmations Journal. And I chose the name of that book is because your mindset has everything to do with you moving forward. If you have a negative mindset, if you have all kinds of limited beliefs, then it's going to be very hard to move forward in those goals. It's going to be very hard to move into purpose. It's going to be very hard to move into basically anything that you desire. It's whatever your mindset is whatever determines your life. So if you have a negative mindset, then of course you can't go anywhere. But I want to encourage and empower individuals to have a positive mindset, because that's what's going to help them to move forward. That's going to help them to overcome the challenges and the things that they have gone through or will be going through. Positive mindset is everything. Whatever your mind is whatever you're going to speak. And whatever you speak into existence, that is what you manifest. So the seed first starts in the mind before anything else. Even if you have a negative mindset right now, that can change. You don't have to stay in those current circumstances whatsoever. You can change it, but it's up to you to be willing to change that mindset, get the tools that you need, get this book, and start sowing seeds of positivity so you can start seeing some changes. Best believe once you start sowing those seeds, and then all of a sudden your words start changing, you're going to see your life change for the better, definitely.
Girl, you got it like Campbell soup over here. It's good. It's good. I mean, I'm telling you, and so many of you, if you heard the podcast that I've been doing, or you've been at a live event that we've done, I'm always sharing the power of the mindset. And I can't help, Kimberly. I just think about my own journey. I can't speak on somebody else's, but I think about my own journey. If it wasn't for the mind, even when I'm just driving or I'm in an airport somewhere and I just come back and I think about, wow, that could be me. I'm not knocking anybody, but some people are in places that they hate being, all because their mind. And it reminded me of what was shared to me about the dirty cup syndrome, is what I like to call it. It doesn't matter if you have a filter from Brita or whatnot, or you got Aquafina or whatever, or Ozark or whatever kind of water you want to have. If you pour it into a dirty cup, it's still going to be contaminated.
Exactly.
It's not clean. And so a lot of us are embarking every day on new journeys with opportunities all around us. But because we have dirty cups with not being positive and not having the right mindset, we forfeit our true calling and our destiny, and we're stuck, and we wonder why we're stuck. It's not a lack of opportunity. It's not a lack of funds. It's not your gender. It's not your sexuality. It's not where you are, on the socioeconomic ladder. It's all because of your thinking. And so that's why I'm loving what you're doing with your book, and share with us as far as mindset. What made you believe that you could write a book when so many had failed at the task?
Well, you know what? It's been in my heart to be a writer. I mean, I knew that I had that gift. That gift started manifesting when I was in high school, when I used to write all kinds of poetry and lyrics to songs, and I'll have friends to sing those lyrics, and that gift has been inside of me. Of course, when I was going through my healing journey, it had been in my spirit to write that book or to get a book done. But of course, during that time, I was still going through the process. So I wasn't quite ready just yet. When I ended up going through enough of the process of my healing journey and having enough testimony to share, that's when really it was in my spirit and really burning to just really move forward in this book. When I started getting breakthrough in my own life, that's when that desire just really started coming forth. The moment that I would see on television when there's individuals that, would give up on life, would end up ending their lives, I'm just like, you know what? It can't be, it starts stirring within me, because I'm going to tell you this, and I'm going to be very transparent and very honest. I was there when I was a teenager, and then growing up, I had all kinds of suicidal thoughts. I didn't think I had a purpose in life. I tried to end my life several times, but by the grace of God, I have been saved. And there was a reason why he had saved me. Of course, he'd given me purpose. And once he had given me purpose, and once I started going through my healing journey, then that's when, and I start seeing those other individuals give up on life, I was just like, no, there is hope. I'm a living testimony that there is hope. And I have so much other things to share about my life, but it just really burned inside of me to write this book, because I want people to have hope. I don't want people to give up. There are gifts and talents and abilities in every single one of us that need to be birthed out. And really just the birthing of my own gifts, desires, and talents being birthed out gave me the desire to want to write books to help others to birth out things that they need to birth out.
You know what is amazing that you're sharing that, Ms. Smith, and I've shared this before, but for those who are aspiring authors or desiring to have their books out, whether it's a series, fiction, nonfiction, whatever the genre is, it doesn't really matter. The key to it is you have to have a big enough why.
Yes.
And you might say, oh, Darren, why are you bringing that up? You heard it here from Ms. Smith. Kimberly shared with us, she had a big why. She she desires, she has a burning desire to see others have hope. Yes. She knows what it's like to be without hope. And that's a dark, dark place. And by the grace of God, like she stated, allowed her to come out of that situation. Yes. But she didn't just hoard the opportunity to herself of having hope. She said, you know what? I want to be a midwife. I want to help others give birth. Yeah. To their hopes, their dreams, their aspirations, and know that it can become true for them, no matter how low it can be. For us, I'm a living testimony that it can happen. So for those who are listening out there, what is that why for you? It has to be bigger than you, because especially in the book process, it's very easy to give up in the process. Yes. And whenever you're looking at changing lives, or impacting lives for the positive, you're going to have to be willing to give up to go up. You're going to have that sacrificial, that agape love, and the willingness to do whatever it takes to get there. And I know, Kim, you have been through that. We've had some candid discussions ourselves during the process. But I want you to share with the audience, if you don't mind, because you are a busy woman. We talked about this off air, but at the same time, share with them with all that you have going on. How in the world do you find time to create content or create strategies that you use in your book?
Well, basically, that burning desire had me to create time to write this book. There were a lot of challenges. There were a lot of things going on. And when you're getting ready to birth out something great that's going to change people's lives, best believe some attack is going to come. And I definitely had that. But there was so much of a burning desire for me to just go forward, but yet at the same time, because I gotta say this, there was individuals like yourself, like Mr. Palmer, that came in and encouraged me, because trust me, I was about to give up. I was just like, oh no, I don't think I'm going to be able to do this book. I had all kinds of thoughts coming in, all kinds of situations come in, financially, all kinds of things come in. But I'm grateful for individuals to come and say, hey, don't give up on this, that actually see the vision. It's important to have individuals around, and that's one thing. It's important to have individuals around that support you, that can speak into your life to help and to encourage you to keep going, to produce this book. So, of course, there was individuals that helped me along the way, that spoke life into me when I was going through. Also, it was that burning desire, again, to see people's lives change. Whenever I had the thought to kind of be sidetracked or distracted, there was something inside me. There was a voice inside of me says, no, I have given you an assignment. You need to finish this. And I go right back to it. Also, it was just me prioritizing. There were some things that I had to basically put on the back burner, basically, because they weren't a priority. I had a lot of things going on. I'm over here building my business. I'm over here, putting together products for my business and programs and stuff like that. But there were certain things that I need to get done first. And of course, this book had been on my heart for a while. And this book was the first product that I put together, to help me really launch and pull forward my business. So it was just that, just realizing that the priority was getting this book out. So lives can start being changed right then and there. I feel like, because, I got this book done first, and it's going to be in the hands of individuals, other things will start trickling after that. So, and I don't know if I'm going off the topic or the question, but I do want to say this. Whenever God has given you something first to do, it may seem small, but that small thing can open up so many doors. We don't see it at first. We may have attacks. We may have distractions, along the way, but keep in mind, whenever there's something great in store that's about to happen, distraction and attack is going to come, but we have to keep our focus. Once we keep our focus and get that assignment done, then everything else will start falling into place afterwards. I'm sorry, I just had to say that.
Hey, there's nothing wrong with that, because I totally agree with you 110%, because it's those first steps,
Yes.
but some of us, we misjudge the magnitude of that step, because we think of it as a first step, and we're looking so far down the road. And when it's a million people helped and served, or if it's a certain amount of money in the books, or when you're doing that book tour and all of that stuff right there, but you have to master what I call the mundane. You have to master the mundane. It's the everyday grunt work, the part that's not as sexy, the part where everybody's not cheering you along and patting you on your head with that attaboy, attagirl. You have to stay the course. And that's what you've did, Ms. Smith, is stay the course, which is allow for you to have a platform now that you're able to use to expedite the process for you getting where you want to be. And that's to help more people and to have your business where it needs to be. So for those out there listening and know that you have to get this done, don't look at all the other things that you need to do. You're worried about the course, you're worried about a webinar, but you haven't did the book yet. You haven't mastered the mundane. So make sure that you keep the first things first, and especially on the spiritual journey. For those who know, when you've been called to do something. So so that's a whole nother story right there. So I tell people that it's not about me, but you know what you've been called to do. So that's you who has to answer the Abba Father about that. That has nothing to do with me, but you know what's in your spirit, in your heart, and what you need to get done, because somebody is dependent on you. And this is what I even shared with Ms. Smith, and I'm just going to be totally transparent. While you're finding a way to give up, you weren't created to give up. It's a life on the line, literally.
Yes.
The materials that you have here. So just because you're overwhelmed, do you think that is trumping, no pun intended, do you think that's trumping someone who's on the edge, or they're in a place of darkness where they got a gun in their mouth, or they got the pills and they're about to pop the top to be able to take themselves out, or they're cutting themselves and they hiding it when they go into the workplace, or they're going to school, or they're thinking about, I can't make it because I don't know how I'm going to take care of my kids in a divorce. I should get rid of everybody, when they're dealing with thoughts like that. So I'm telling you, for those out there, your story matters. Your book, your workbook, whatever materials that you have, you never know the legacy. And I say legacy, that's right, because that person who come out of the dark spot, now they're able to be more productive. They're able to have a healthy and functional relationship that transcends to future generations in a community, and their church is being helped by them doing the right steps and getting out of that dark spot and having hope. And so my good friend, Miss Kimberly Smith, is allowing for others to be helped by helping others with sharing her story. So do you agree with that, Kimberly, what I shared about the importance of the domino effect behind helping and inspiring others?
Yes, I totally agree with everything that you had to say in that arena. Totally.
Awesome. Awesome. Thank you so much for that. Now, we're talking about impact and the legacy piece. Now, you're to the stage and you're part of the process where you actually did the work. You've completed this. Yes. Share with us just personally with the manifest destiny, I like to call it, with the manifestation of something being an idea or some spoken place, the seed that God gave within you that was innate for you to do this. Now knowing that you've done it, what does that mean to you, knowing that you actually stayed the course?
It feels amazing. I feel accomplished. I feel I have done exactly what I need to do. Obedience is better than sacrifice. I'm gonna tell you that obedience is better than sacrifice. I feel very joyful, and there's a sense of fulfillment in what I've accomplished. Because like I said, it was hard at first. I didn't think I was going to go through some of the things that I would go through with this process, but I'm so happy because I feel like I've been refined through that process too. It's after the completion, it was like, okay, because I was able to identify some things in me that I need to improve upon. Not only that, but some things have been imparted into me in that process. So even after this, there's going to be greater to come in. So there has been an open door for greater stuff, for, things to come in for myself, but not only myself, because it's really not about me, because what I've been given, it's going to go out to others. So I'm grateful for the process, and I'm grateful for how I feel right now and the things that are going to happen, because not only am I going to be impacted, but I'm going to share this with others. It's not meant for me to just keep to myself. I'm going to go out there and share. So I can't wait to see the end result of what happens to other individuals because of the process that I've been through and how I feel right now. It's a testimony.
That's it. That's it. It really is. You know, don't rush the process, trust the process. I know it sounds cliche and they're like, oh, here Darren goes with the happy-go-lucky inspiration, positive tip. But you heard earlier what Miss Kimberly Smith shared about the importance of positivity and how you need to view and see things and how it can transform your life. And when I'm looking at that and I'm listening to what you're bringing up about the process, I've shared with others as well, you know, Kimberly, that after the first book, everything changed.
Yeah.
And I heard a gentleman share this about becoming a multimillionaire. And it's the same way with the book. And I'm going to use this analogy, this example of, he said, it's not about the money was a byproduct of who he became.
Yeah.
Or who she becomes. And that's the same way that it is with the book. Of course, yes, that's a burning desire. You want to get the book out. You want to help people. You want to do something. You want to make a couple of dollars yourself as well or more, and do what you are called to do. That's what you were called to do. But like you said, during the process, as my grandmother says, hindsight is always 20/20 vision. And so when you're looking in the review mirror, whatnot, you're looking forward, you're thinking to yourself too, it's like, wait a minute, what I just came through. And you look back, this opened up opportunities moving forward.
Yes.
So even though it was something in the past, it was good that I was afflicted, so, you look at it and realize, oh man, I got the dexterity now. I have the mental fortitude to be able to withstand whatever I'm going through. So what I went through in this book process is going to help me when I get into a tight situation with my company. It's going to help me when I'm hiring other people. It's going to help me when I'm doing a nonprofit. It's going to help me when something doesn't go right as far as a tax situation or whatever. That was good that I was afflicted. Now I'm prepared for the next level.
Yes.
It was a certain amount of investment that I had to make and not know how it was going to work out on this level. So how are you going to help? That's going to help you too when you moving and need to get a bigger spot, or you need to get more square footage, or you need to hire the right personnel. Now that helps you when it comes to creating a culture and all these other areas that you're going to face. If for those business owners, or if you're not a business owner, this does help you. It's transferable skills. That's what we're talking about right here. And I can't get out of here without having you, because I know people are going to want to know. Please share website. How can they purchase the book? Anything as far as the training, if they want to book you for workshops, speaking, any of your programs, anything you have right now, let us know how we can contact you, social media handles or whatnot, and we will make sure to have it in the show notes. And make sure our audience can get in contact with you.
Okay. Basically, I can be reached on Instagram. My Instagram handle is at WLA Company. And also on Facebook, I can be found under the same name, WLA Company. Definitely, I can be found under Kimberly Smith if you would like to follow me on my personal page. I can also be reached at info@WLAcenter.com, info@WLAcenter.com. Send me an email. Definitely going to get back with your request. So definitely, those are the 3 avenues in which I can be reached.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Ms. Kimberly, for sharing that information. But before we close out this interview, I want you to speak to that person out there. Let's just say, for instance, that young lady who's saying, she's brilliant, she's beautiful, she's a business owner, she's an author. It makes sense for her being on the author spotlight. I see why she did a book. But I know for some who's seeing you right now, it's still, the light is a little bit dim as far as them visualizing the dark place that you came out of. You don't look like what you've been through. So please share with that person who says, I see why Kimberly Smith put out a book. I can see why Michelle Obama put out a book, but I have a story to share. I want to share it, but I don't know if I should put one out. They're straddling the fence. Could you share with that person out there, that young lady, why it's important for her to still share her story?
I believe that it's important for her to share her story because her story will end up healing her. It's amazing when you share your story, how much healing you receive yourself. And some things come out of you that were dormant, because there are some things inside of you that are dormant. And when you write this book, it comes out. So there's a level of healing that takes place. There's a mindset shift that takes place. Not only that, but some things start birthing out inside. So definitely to that individual that is straddling the fence with, whether or not to get this book done, get it done. Because not only will it benefit you, but it's going to benefit others. There are other individuals that have gone through what you have gone through, are currently going through, that need to hear your story, that need to have that hope and encouragement. Our stories is not meant to be kept for ourselves. Our stories are meant to be shared with others, because it needs to impact others. Our stories will birth out our purpose. So once that book is done, that purpose will start birthing out. There's greatness inside of that individual that is needing to share their story. Don't be afraid. Don't listen to the fearful thoughts. Don't listen to the negative thoughts that say, oh, well, that story is too personal. Oh, people may not like it. No, that is a lie. People need to hear your story so they themselves can be set free. Not only that, but you yourself can be set free even further. And you'll be definitely blessed by what you have sold, because whatever you have sold into others, definitely is going to come back to a harvest for you. So definitely move forward, get that book done, get your support in place. Do whatever you need to do to get that story out, because it's needed in this world and in this generation.
Well, you heard it for. She done dropped the mic on us. It's no sense of me messing up a good thing. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. That's what I was taught down south. So I just want to thank you again, Miss Kimberly Smith. And an honor for our company to be able to have the privilege to work with you. You've been a joy. It's greater things coming. So this is just the beginning. This is just the beginning.
It is just the beginning. Yes.
This is just the beginning. Now, with all seriousness, before we get off, get this book. This is a book, especially for certain communities, that it's for all people. But I'm telling you, this is a book that's liberating. This is a book that people are fighting against some things, and especially for those who speak Christianese, you know who you are. Mm-hmm. You out there, you go on to these church services, you still shackled. You can't talk to people about it. You feel like you can't talk to no one, because if you talk to everyone, they're blessed and highly favored, and they run around there like a chicken with his head cut off spiritually, but they can't let nobody know, because everybody trying to play this picture perfect life, like they don't never mess up. Everything is great for them. And people are struggling with stuff from when they grew up, things that have happened to them, situations where they've been traumatized. I keep talking about, you don't have to go to Kuwait. You don't have to go to Iraq to be dealing with PTSD or whatever they call it. You know what I'm saying? So I just want to make sure that you get this book, because this is something that we all have to deal with. And if you don't take care of your mental health, plenty of people around you are going to suffer, because you're not stable. And if your mindset is not right, you can't do anything else. So I just definitely want to make sure that you get this book. The stuff she's talking about is real, and it's going to transform your life. So thanks again, Kimberly, for coming on to the show.
Thank you for the opportunity.
Awesome. We will have the show notes for Miss Kimberly Smith for those who are listening in on iTunes, Stitcher, or if you're on YouTube, we'll have that information on there as well. Until next time, remember that this is the year for your new book. Be blessed and be great.